From the most expensive major road project in the United States to the island airport in Japan and the high-speed railway in China, today we will discuss 5 of the most expensive mega projects ever built in the world. 1. New Suez Canal. The construction of the first Suez Canal was completed in 1869, significantly reducing the travel time between the Pacific Ocean and the Indian Ocean. Today, the Suez Canal is one of the busiest waterways in the world, stretching approximately 193 kilometers. The Suez Canal holds immense importance. In 2021, the canal was closed for 6 days due to a cargo ship blockage, resulting in a global economic loss of $50 billion. Around 12% of the world's total trade passes through this canal annually. Despite its significance, the canal had only one shipping lane, allowing approximately 49 cargo ships to pass daily. Therefore, in 2014, the Egyptian government ordered the construction of a new 35-kilometer parallel lane to the old Suez Canal. The new Suez Canal also widened and deepened a significant portion of the old waterway. The construction of this project was completed a year later, with a cost of approximately $12 billion considering inflation. With its completion, the Suez Canal had 2 lanes for traffic. The addition of the second waterway will allow the passage of 97 cargo ships daily. Egypt's revenue from the Suez Canal in 2014 was $5 billion, but it is estimated to reach $12 billion by the end of this year. Although the construction cost billions of dollars, as it is evident, the expenses will be recovered within a year. 2. Eurotunnel. When discussing expensive transit projects across seas, we must also mention the Channel Tunnel, which connects France and England through the English Channel. High-speed trains travel at high speeds through this 50-kilometer tunnel, making it the longest underwater tunnel in the world. The idea of constructing such a tunnel to connect France and Britain dates back to the early 1800s. However, technological limitations and political unrest delayed its realization for over 2 centuries. In 1897, the English began digging from their side, and a year later, the French initiated their own excavation. The most challenging task was ensuring that the 2 tunnels would eventually meet. For this purpose, they used lasers and specialized surveying equipment. Nonetheless, when the engineers finally met on December 1, 1990, they could breathe a sigh of relief as Britain and France were connected for the first time in history at that very moment and location. The entire project was completed 6 years after its commencement, with a construction cost of approximately $23 billion at today's rate. While the construction of this tunnel was indeed expensive, the next tunnel you will become familiar with is even more costly. 3. Boston Big Dig Tunnel. The construction of this project was approved in 1897 as a replacement for Boston's Central Artery Highway. Only 75,000 vehicles per day could use the previous Boston Highway without causing heavy traffic, but 150,000 vehicles passed through it daily, leading to severe congestion. To solve this problem, a plan was devised to construct a 6-kilometer underground highway with 8 lanes leading to the center of Boston. The construction of this project began in 1991, and it was supposed to be completed in 1998. However, like many other mega projects, it faced numerous delays and challenges. The proximity of the tunnel construction to the Boston Harbor raised environmental concerns, and the construction engineers were only able to obtain the necessary environmental permits in 1994. Furthermore, the presence of two subway lines along the route made the construction more complicated. Additionally, the area where the tunnels were supposed to be excavated had been a landfill site for years. Moreover, the foundations of some houses and even several ships and boats had to be removed. During the construction, several archaeological discoveries were made, with some findings dating back centuries. As a result, the cost of the project kept increasing day by day. Finally, after a 9-year delay, the construction of this project was completed in 2007. The construction cost of this project has reached nearly $26 billion at today's rate. However, it is worth noting that this tunnel has improved the traffic situation. This new underground highway can accommodate up to 250,000 vehicles daily. Interestingly, after the reopening of this project, the old Boston Highway was demolished, and approximately 120 hectares of it were transformed into parks and green areas. Four, Kansai International Airport. In this section, we will take a look at the world's first airport built on an artificial island. Kansai International Airport is one of the busiest airports in Asia and operates around the clock due to its distance from residential areas. When the construction of this airport was approved, there was no existing location for it. The first phase of the project involved constructing an artificial island capable of supporting the weight of a massive airport. The construction of the artificial island began in 1987, with a 30-meter layer of soil being poured onto the water. The result of these land reclamation efforts was an artificial island with a width of 2.5 kilometers and a length of 4.5 kilometers by 1990. The complete construction of this airport was finished 4 years later in 1994, and it commenced operations in the same year. After the addition of a second runway, the total construction cost of this airport reached approximately $29 billion at today's rate. After its opening, this airport quickly became one of the most popular airports in Asia. In 2019, it hosted 29 million passengers. It is interesting to note that this airport is the third busiest airport in Japan. Five, Beijing-Shanghai High-Speed Railway. When it comes to the most expensive transit projects, the first place goes to the Beijing-Shanghai High-Speed Railway. This project has reduced the travel time between Beijing and Shanghai in half. The construction of this mega project took only 3 years, and the 1,320-kilometer railway cost the Chinese government $41 billion. This railway started operating in 2011, and in its first 10 years, it has transported over 1.3 billion people. Every day, 41 high-speed trains with speeds close to 350 kilometers per hour depart from Beijing and arrive in Shanghai after a journey of 5 hours. Prior to the construction of this railway, the same trip took 12 to 14 hours. In 2019 alone, 210 million people used these trains. Although the construction cost of this mega project was $42 billion, it only generated $1 billion in revenue in 2015. This is significant considering that most of China's railway lines do not make a profit. Interestingly, the Beijing-Shanghai high-speed train is the most profitable railway line in the world. Lastly, have you ever traveled on one of these mega projects? Please share your experiences in the comments section.